It's your turn. Non-binary people. Because Gothix is here to say non-binary is an ideology and it's BS. It's an ideology and it's BS. You heard it here, chat. Damn, bro. All right, I'm going to be honest. I can't. Until maybe we enjoy a little bit of. All right, just roll it. I'll join you in a second.
All right. So today we are going to talk about non-binary and why I believe the term is something that was recently created, recently as in like a few years created.
So, wait. So were you, Gothix. Literally, you're an actress. This is true, by the way.
And on the front-facing aspect of this term, it's used to validate people's feelings, the feelings of select individuals.
Her ramble was.
It's always about feeling real special, chat. Autumn, thanks for following. It's always about how special you've wanted to feel, guys.
And on the back end, there is a more insidious reason to having such term, but I'll get to that in a second.
Insidious. Hell
so
yeah.
Let's start from right there. Non-binary is made up.
You were hurt to see a Hassan pull a Crowder on Twitter? I don't know what that means. What did Hassan do on Twitter?
It's a term that people use when they don't identify or they don't feel like they're a man or a woman, so they say, I'm non-binary.
Sometimes, yeah.
Back when I was a kid, the term was tomboy. Maybe.
Nope. That's not what tomboy is. Hassan doesn't want to debate people on Twitch, though. Why does that matter? Who cares? Who gives a shit? Y'all are weird about that stuff. I'm going to pause this video for just a second and say, hey, if he was down to debate some dude, who gives a shit? Who cares? Why do you care about this stuff? Hassan wants to fucking chill on his stream and enjoy his community for what it is. So he doesn't have to. Why do you give a shit? Just be like, all right, fuck, shit. Kind of wanted to see that. Oh, well. It's the internet. It is. And I'm asking you why you care.
Be androgynous, but hey, it's 2021. Apparently these labels are not sufficient anymore.
Not all non-binary people are androgynous. That's interesting.
So non-binary it is.
Is this actually her understanding of what non-binary is? Is this actually the case?
And before you bore me the displeasure of you educating me on the definitions from all of these labels and trying to tell me why either of these labels are necessary.
You're just going to read the definition off of some other thing?
Let me just say that I don't care.
Oh. Nope, it's even worse. I could be correct about this. However, I refuse. Goddamn.
I don't care what these labels mean. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care about your pronouns. I do not care. This is useless information. What I do care about is how it is manifesting in the real world and what the consequences of this rhetoric is in the real world.
How can you know the consequences of the rhetoric in the real world if you don't know the real world definition of the thing, Gothix, you dumb piece of shit? God, she's so stupid. It's like depressingly stupid.
And I'll get to that in a second. But on the front-facing side of this is simply a word to make people feel good about themselves. Now,
wait, okay. Let's say for a moment that you people who identify as non-binary in chat, let's say that you do only identify as non-binary so that you feel good about yourself. Maizelbub. Why is that a bad thing? Why wouldn't you want people around you to feel good about themselves? Like, let's steelman it. Let's say every non-binary person was somehow made to be invalid. Okay? Let's say you're all faking it just for attention, just so you feel good about yourselves. Let's say that's true. It's not, but let's say it is. What the fuck is wrong with feeling good about yourself? I actually would like to know. Doodleburb, thanks so much for the tier 2 for 12 months, 1 full year. I have no idea. Like, this argument happens a lot to try to dismiss trans people and just people from the LGBT community in general. Oh, you just want to feel good about yourself. It's like, I mean, kind of, yeah. That's kind of the crux of it, isn't it? Yes. People would like to feel good about themselves, and transition helps them do so. Kinda, yeah. Like, at its most, when you distill it down to, like, what... Give me the fewest words to describe, like what you would like out of your experience as a trans person. To feel good about yourself, gotta be pretty high up there. They're mad that you want to try to be happy. I am bamboozled by such a thing. Is not the literal reason for life to try and be happy? Like, isn't that really what the meaning of life is? Is just to attempt to be happy for as much of it as possible? I think that's it. I don't know how you can try to argue for any kind of freedom and be against literally any kind of self-expression, even if that includes such extreme things as claiming that you don't feel as though you fit into the mold of a man or a woman. Huh? Ooh, I shudder to think.
My issue comes from the social pressure to make this thing a reality when there isn't a logical reason for this to be a reality in the first place.
What's logic got to do with it? Wait, I mean, we could logically go... I mean, the logical reason to do anything that makes people happy is for a more cohesive and easygoing society with as little social stress as possible is good for everybody. I think that goes without saying. I would also say, from a quite literally diagnosable standpoint with science and backing and studies and peer review, and I mean, it's run the gamut of all these things and continues to show, literally, medically, it is part of mental health, which is real health. I think maybe it's because we call it mental health. Similar to like dental insurance. Like, no, it just should be regular insurance. Your teeth are part of your body. Since in your eyes and your ears, since why are these different? Shouldn't be different. It is part of your body. Surprise! It's all inside there. And what's your brain, guys? What is mental health if not your physical brain? I would argue the most important organ in your body, more important than even the heart. You can get a new one of those. So, like, or at least new pieces right now. We'll get new ones soon. Robot hearts. But anyway. What? Diagnosably and just true, it is true that social transition and validation of these people that just want to feel good about themselves, I mean, that's literally part of the treatment, is to just literally treat someone with humanity and love. I mean, at the crux of it, at the true crux of it, whenever I argue with transphobes or or any of that shit. There's bigots in general. At the very base of it, I'm just sitting there and going, bro, why can't you just be nice to people? Like, why can't we just be nice to each other a little bit? Not a lot. You don't have to go out of your way to do anything. You don't even have to, like, use pronouns or names or anything. You can just be like, oh, you can grunt in general directions and just not fucking say mean things. That's it. You don't even have to agree. You could avoid any sort of relationship at any level with every single trans person that you are capable of clocking. Gothix. You got your transvestigating spyglass out here, just looking for them. Oh, I don't know. That person's says they're a girl, but they're wearing a black shirt, short hair, ears pierced, not wearing makeup, has spiky things everywhere, kind of wearing a little bit of a flannel thing. I don't know, looks like a fucking dude to me. Like, if she had a dick and looked exactly like this and had a slightly deeper voice, would you question?
We don't.
No, because, shocker, you can look like however you want, and it's not like a guarantee whatever your fucking gender or sex is. It's just not. And this isn't like a knock on her. She looks fine, I don't care. But what the fuck? Like, when you can't even exhibit your own standards to which you expect other people, like, it just blows my fucking brain, dude. She's just such a fucking loser. Ugh. I hope she knows that she sucks. You know what I mean? Like, people around her go just like, you suck, dude. You fucking suck. Like, 3 a.m., her tire blows, no one's picking up that fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's gonna fucking be like, oh god, I gotta go out in the snow for Gothix. Yeah, I'm gonna pretend I missed this. I'm going to pretend I missed that call and then apologize in the morning through a text. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I woke up late. Come on, dude. She has no real friends. There's no fucking way. She pays the one friend I've ever seen her have. So, like...
You don't need a college degree in gender studies to accept the reality of men and women.
Men and women exist. That's true.
And in cases, you have intersex, but even then, you're left with the options to...
Men, women, and intersex people all exist. That's actually true.
...identify as what? A man or a woman. Sorry, boo-boo, that's just reality.
It's so weird that she does the boo-boo thing. Her friend calls me boo-boo, too. Did you guys know that? I made a joke once, literally a joke, and she thought it triggered me. It was really funny. The thing that triggers me the most about Gothix and her mod or whatever, the thing that really triggers me is that they think what they say is triggering. Does that make sense? It's like laughing at somebody, not with them, but they don't know it. They think you're laughing with them. It's the same thing. It's the same phenomenon, but they think they're triggering me, and they're not, which triggers me because they think they are. You know what I mean? Smart. Gothix has a friend? No. She pays someone to be her friend on the internet. Yeah. And anytime Gothix gets in a slight of an argument with them, the employee steps in, and then Gothix stops talking to that person. Yeah, it's pretty fucking weird, dude. Anyway, so Gothix tried to argue with me about something. She said something about me, like, sucking her asshole. Sucking clout out of her asshole. I'm like, you're fucking gross. I don't know if you guys remember this on Twitter. It was, like, very brief. She's like, you're sucking clout out of my asshole. I'm like, what the fuck? You're so disgusting. And then the other girl was like, sir, you need to... She kept calling me sir. And I made a joke of like, hey, no one gets to call me sir unless you're, like, unless I put a collar on you or something, which is, just a joke, a sex joke, right? I was just joking about, it was mostly like a wink to you guys because we talk about that shit. And then she started calling me sir because she thought it triggered me. Like, she thought it made me mad because I made a joke that she didn't get. And then she called me boo-boo, and I'm like, that's weird that you call me that. And then she calls me Sir Boo-boo now. And she thinks that's triggering, which is... You know what I mean? These are the types of people. These are the types of people we're dealing with, right? You couldn't fucking write an algorithm to come up with a dumber person. You know what I mean? Or like this type of personality. It's sad. It's like it's frustrating in a way I can't describe. It's frustrating in a way that, like, you ever seen like a movie where like a character really needs something that's kind of like life or death, but there's someone who's just like really dumb and doesn't get it, or they're like they can't hear, or there's something going on to where they're on drugs or something that's happened sometimes. They're on drugs and they're like, dude, I just need this. Squid Game did this with the old guy. He's like, I need this. It's like that, where you just want to shake him and be like, it's not funny. It just sucks. You know what I mean? It just fucking, you just suck. I just need you to understand how much no one likes you. Like, that's why you're irritating. No one likes you. That's why it's fucking funny. Ugh. I just painted my nails? Hell yeah.
Now,
good job.
At this point, I'll probably get people yelling at me in the comments
that you're so stupid.
Section talking about you're invalidating people's identity.
No, I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Stop it. That's incorrect. What I am doing is forcing those people to look deep within themselves to find a personality.
Oh, fuck. Please don't manufacture it and put it on YouTube, though, when you guys do that. Guys, don't, like, wear your personality like this. Like, actually be whoever you are. Not whatever this front is, okay?
And I know it's there. I know it's there. Because, like I said, this idea...
Like, it's so weird that she's saying this, because, like, all of us know, because we all have personalities. Like, we know that she's doing a thing, right? Like, this is a facade of a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that this is fake. I'm fascinated by whoever she actually is, dude. Like, what kind of fucking sad piece of shit is she? Like, this is what she decides to put towards the world. It's just like, like, if you were to invent an annoying villain, like, that worked at the office in the first act of a comedy movie, that gets, like, literally pooped on or something at some point as part of a revenge plot, like, or, like, has some sort of poop joke, this would be the asshole coworker that no one likes. Oh, God, I gotta walk into fucking Gothix. Oh, God. Terrible Bosses 3. Oh, fuck. Oh, jeez, my coworker. Oh, she's just the worst. And then, like, this is her professed, like, personality to you and to me and to the audience of the YouTube channel. This is what she chooses. She curated this exact personality on purpose. That stuns me.
The idea of non-binary is relatively new, and 50, 100 years ago, people were forced to find personalities instead of relying on a attribute about themselves that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
Does Gothix pine for the 100 years ago days? Because I feel like 1921 wasn't it. Like, I might have done okay. Probably not for long. I'm a little bit of a lefty. But I feel like you would have lost first in the who would last longer in 1921 games.
And the thing with this is that if society stopped entertaining this idea of being non-binary or having all of these meaningless labels, it would force people
to have personality,
to work on themselves. As Tom Sowell likes to say, he called...
oh, fuck. Why does she say she's not a fucking conservative when she just invoked Tom Sowell? Like, the biggest fucking bootlicky, right-wing black guy, economist, capitalist douchebag there is. Like, literally top of the list.
Calls it the building human capital. It would force...
He even calls it human capital. I didn't know he was going to say something that douchey And yet he managed to.
Them to work on themselves. And it would also force them to be mentally resilient, which I think is very important in a society where everyone's complaining about harmful rhetoric and hate speech and all that stuff. Oh! Okay, let's continue. When you...
What? She worked herself up in her own brain and didn't share it with the audience. She went, oh! You guys know that one? Little Mikey Jackson for you.
Validate someone's identity.
That song stuck in my head. And I can't play it. I need Twitch to let me buy a Spotify license or something. Please. Please.
What you're actually doing is that you're conditioning that person to use a label as a crutch. For example, a common thing that you'll see within the black community is that people will toss around these labels of...
Boy, Jim Crow built up some resilient people. That's not why we need to call white people the C word, to build up their resilience. That's pretty true.
White privilege and white supremacy, and they'll use these systemic racism.
Dude, please, come on. Why is she so stupid? How could she not be confident enough to say that she's a conservative? She's literally doing the Hunter Avallone grift like after he did it. He left and she came in here. They're just doing the same thing. And then, well, Hunter Avallone was actually pretty open about his conservatism, wasn't he? Maybe I'm wrong. Now that I'm thinking back at his work. Yeah, he was openly just kind of a douchebag. Now he's just slightly less of a douchebag. Not all the way, but slightly.
Use all of these labels as justification for why...
Very Blair White. Yeah.
Their life is the way that it is.
Dave Rubin definitely did that. Yeah, it's always
instead of
condescending.
taking ownership for why their life is the way that it is. So in this...
What is wrong with their life? Someone being non-binary does not necessarily have a shitty life. It's so weird. Like... I don't know that maybe it's not like an object permanence type thing where if you say that any black people or trans people, I just blopped it with my knuckle, or trans people or non-binary people or gay people or whatever, if you say that any of them experience like mistreatment or oppression, I guess would be the word that she would scoff at, then it means that every single one of them does. But it doesn't mean that. It means that systemically, you are likely to face negative societal, I guess, repercussions for things out of your control. And that's the part that is basically what we want to stop. If you are not choosing to do a thing, right? If it is inherently part of your being and it makes you happy, it's in the pursuit of your happiness and harms no one else. And then at the point where it starts harming no one else, then you can start doing things that even are your choice. Like imagine being trans with just 100% like you don't feel. Imagine in a world, right? Let's hypothetical. Let's we're gonna adamantine man trans issues, okay? We're gonna assume we live in a world where every trans, non-binary, any sort of non-cis individual, okay? Let's just assume 100% of that was just a choice. You don't feel a way. It doesn't make you feel better. It literally is an aesthetic choice. It's as meaningful as putting on a shirt. Let's say it was that trivial to you every day. It would still be valid, and there's no reason to have any laws against it. It means nothing. I have no idea how you can even come around to that. Like if it's as meaningless as changing shirts, because some of them say like, oh, you just accessorize. What are you gonna do? Ban shirts? What do you mean? If it's trivial, then fuck off. It's trivial. Eat a dick then. Let us be trivial. You know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Where does that argument end? There's no side to their anti-argument that makes any sense in the long run. If it means nothing, then just let them do it. If it's very important, then obviously it's very important. So let them do it. Like what? Why would anyone? Clearly, we all take our self-identity at least roughly seriously. I'm assuming very seriously, especially if you ever had an identity crisis. When we can all agree on that, like it would be bad, it would feel bad to have a crisis of identity, right? That seems like disassociative and bad. I think we can agree on that just objectively. Then we agree that it's important, so let them do that. I don't have to be a member of that community to think, oh yeah, that makes fucking sense. Go ahead, do whatever you want. I don't care, kids. Go wild.
The same context, you have the non-binary crowd who are very militant with preferred pronouns and said, no, you need to use my preferred pronoun. You need to acknowledge how I identify as. And
you should, yeah. You should try. That's it. That's the whole thing. Just try. You don't have to get it right every time. Just have the decency to let another person know that, hey, I give a shit about you enough to just try to get your pronouns right. That's it. It's the whole thing. By the way, if you're a militant non-binary person, what color camo do y'all rock? Like, what's the non-binary uniform look like? Do we have that militant non-binary uniform person? It's just gray. It's just urban camo. I don't know.
And if someone rejects that notion, now all of a sudden it's, I'm being discriminated against, I'm not included,
Bro,
I'm not
she's
accepted,
so
I'm not this,
fucking
I'm not
brave,
that.
dude.
Not realizing that they've already started to implement an ideology that is not accepted amongst the general consensus. I see two problems with this type of rhetoric.
What's the rhetoric?
And the first is that I already mentioned.
She's got notes.
It conditions the individual to be obsessed with useless attributes.
She's reading. Look. A little bit of me is like, who fucking cares? People take notes. The other part of me, well, I don't take notes, but it feels fed. It feels fake.
Instead of building their own human capital. Someone using the correct pronouns isn't going to make me smarter. It's not going to make me more money. It's not going to prove that I'm a good person. It's not going to show my values or ambitions. It's literally self-serving, useless information that the rest of the real world doesn't care about, unless, of course, someone wanted to separate people based on ideology, which is why you'll have a very hard time finding a non-binary Christian.
Really?
Or a non-binary conservative.
Really? You think that's the reason? First of all, they exist and they fucking suck. Usually for the second part, not the first. Non-binary Christians and non-binary conservatives both live and exist. But even so, do you think maybe there's a correlation between people not being openly non-binary and conservative at the same time? Well, man, I wonder what could be preventing these two things from coalescing. It's the non-binary people being intolerant of conservatism, right? Wait. Devious Chilster with 50 biddies. I legitimately cannot understand how she doesn't see that this is the same arguments that people would use against her. Quote, what black people don't understand is that giving them rights is against what the majority of people want. Like, bro, yeah, I don't know, dude. She won her fight. It was won before her, for her. She didn't have to deal with it, and apparently, she has her grandpa's Thomas Sowell or some shit. Because holy shit. Is she related to one of these? Dude, does anybody know? Is she just related to, like, rich folks or something? Like, what's going on here? What is happening with this individual's, like come up? That, like, she just says all the dumbest shit. Like, worse than Blair White. I'll say it. And Blair White's a dum-dum. I think Blair White would be smarter in a conversation, like in a debate with Gothix. I think Blair White would win that one. That's not a joke. Like, kind of easily. And I think we all think Blair White's pretty fucking stupid, right? Like, just super dumb. And terribly, terribly purchased by right-wing. She's unequivocally worse than Blair White. Absolutely fucking nuts.
Or a
That's such a low bar.
non-binary Trump supporter, assuming they actually adhere to like the label and stuff like that. We know there's a lot of people that will pretend to be Christians and pretend to be conservative. Like we can usually tell, but that is an insidious way of separating people, and it's already happening. Speak amongst your safe space. And
speak amongst the safe space. Views of non-binary gender options vary sharply by party and age. Center of U.S. adults saying that when a form or online profile asks about a person's gender, it blank. It should not or should include options other than man and woman. Yeah, it should include them. But the reason is kind of pragmatic, right? And it's because those people exist. And I think gets you a better appraisal for the stuff, you know? And yeah, and look, as the younger you get, the easier it is. Yeah. Yep. I'm in the minority here. To be fair, I'm just barely in this category, but that's fine. It's fine. We'll live here. We'll live where we live.
And see how many Republicans you have in it.
Yeah, 21%. 21 out of every 100 Republicans agrees.
All right, let's continue.
That's not nothing. What are you talking about? That's 1/5. That's 1 out of 5. What are we doing here? That's not nobody. That's one in that's like 1.5 in every 2 families, dude, or 2 in every 2 families. Like it's come on, man. I guess fuck them. Yeah.
One. The other problem with the non-binary ideology is that it conditions people to be victims. Just the act of getting upset over someone misgendering you is a sign of emotional immaturity.
Bro, what are you talking about? People aren't just like misgendered sometimes, right? That it makes them get bothered. Like it would be a pretty actually like strange circumstance if a trans or non-binary person got offhandedly misgendered on accident by someone that just didn't know, right? And they were like, what the fuck? How could you? Like, what do you mean? Trans people deal with this shit constantly. I know more trans people that don't give a shit about random people in general. Like, random people kind of mean nothing to most of the trans people I know. Not all, but most. As far as, like, their misgendering. It's the people that are close to them, like their families and shit, that, like, bugs them. Which is all that people are really asking for. Like, when you go to a coffee shop and there's a non-binary person buying books next to you, you don't have to interact. That's fine. I don't care. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. The world she thinks she lives in. Like, I'm in very lefty spaces. I have never had anybody, like, freak out about anything. Ever. And not because we're always perfect. You know what I mean? Especially non-binary people. Like, especially when you first just come out. Because oftentimes non-binary people, this is just my anecdote. Non-binary folks that I have known that have come out that way kind of don't, like, change a ton. You know how, like, I feel like it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. And then you move on. Like, at least for me. Some people go through big time changes. Like, I think more of the masked non-binary people personally get a little bit more expressive with themselves. And this is, again, anecdotal from my just, like, seeing it in the community and stuff. I feel like mask, because it stands out a little bit more on a masked person when, like, femme people can kind of, wear hoodies and jeans, or you can wear whatever, and it doesn't it's not as odd, I guess, as if someone looked like me wore a dress. You know what I mean? So I think that might be it. But I guess it just doesn't come up in the wild. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen, and I haven't seen like a non-binary person in the wild, or someone that at least came across as androgynous and thought, how can I be mean to this person? I'm going to call this person a man. And they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I am a man. And you're like, fuck. I wanted to do a transphobia, but they didn't let me.
While on the other hand, if you acknowledge the 7 billion people on this planet and realize how unrealistic it is to have everyone
hilarious, Quinn,
get along, let alone validate each other, that is a sign of emotional maturity because you accept reality.
I don't think emotional maturity is forcing your misconstrued notion of reality onto another person. I think it's literally just being respectful whenever you can, right? Until someone has done something as an affront to you to not deserve that respect, right? Like you dressing however you want to dress does not suddenly violate my personal space or rights. Unless you're dressing as a tentacle monster and have slammed into my body with your tentacle. And your Cthulhu. Then I will stand in awe of your massive form and understand that I am meaningless, and then I will hope that Azathoth awakens so that existence can end.
So, that being said, who cares what they label you as? Who cares?
What do you mean? If you don't care, then stop fucking telling people not to do it. What do you mean?
If it's not the wrong pronoun, if it's not misgendering you, it would be something else. It would be your weight. It would be your outfit. It would.
Wait, why does it matter? Wait, why would it matter? Just don't. You don't have to. Did you know that you don't have to be a dick to anybody for how they look? Just in general, you don't have to.
Be your bad eyebrows, because trust me, your girl has had bad eyebrows before. It would be something. You will always be a target to someone that just wants to be mean. It doesn't matter. So.
But that's the point. But that's the point. This is exactly what he who shall not be named, because his rabid fans will descend. And will get really big mad because they have tiny peepees. This is exactly what happened last time. It's just like, let's not be fucking evil to each other. Can we just be a little bit better to one another? Nope, that's just how it is. Yeah, but it's that way because you choose to make it that way. You quite literally choose the action of being a douchebag to people. What if we did that less? Just a little. Not a ton. Just enough. If they would just simply live in a reality that valued empathy, right? They don't have to do anything else but be a little empathetic. This whole world would be fixed. I mean, there's just genuinely people out here they don't give a shit. Like, she just doesn't care how other people feel. And I don't know why. Why not care? It seems easy to be like, man, that would be better for everyone if we were just a little bit kinder. Like, I don't have to be nice. I just don't have to be a fucking, maniac. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not nice to Gothix. She's dumb as shit. I don't care. She can eat a bag of shit. I don't care. At all. That's not nice to say. But am I fucking just, attacking her? No. What? We don't have to. We did this shit where you just, Start talking about non-binary people and just trying to be mean to them for some reason. Like, what is that about?
There really isn't a reason for you to put misgendering and wrong pronouns as more severe than someone simply saying, "You fat and I hate your eyebrows." Okay? At this point, I have a feeling right about now, some folks are going to be typing in the little box, the little comment section about...
This is the third time she said, "I bet you typing in the comment section."
mental health and suicide stats as a last-ditch effort to change my mind on this non-binary label so they can validate their own feelings. And I'm sorry, boo-boo.
Again with the boo-boo shit. You just suck. You're not funny, you just suck. Please. Please stop sucking. It's the only time I've ever said that.
I'm not budging. Mental health is your own responsibility.
In my life.
As
In
my
any
mental health
situation.
is my own responsibility. And this is coming from someone who's had episodes of, being depressed and being very anxious and suicidal even. I've had episodes, I'm very transparent with stuff like that. But guess what?
Can't believe you're so trans about anything. Isn't boo-boo slang for butthole? Doo-doo is slang for poop. Maybe boo-boo is slang for butthole. I don't know. Yeah.
My responsibility, not yours.
Gothix. That's not what people are saying. Okay. There's a difference between you being suicidal and me existing and seeing you and interacting with you as I always would, which would just be a nod in your direction if we were coworkers and nothing more. That interaction is kind of what trans and non-binary people are asking for. Is literally just like a neutrality. I don't want you to be nice to them. I don't want you to treat them different and weird. They just want to be neutral, just like everybody else. Everybody's pretty fucking neutral. We give each other like cordial social niceties until someone fucks up and then we don't, right? The big difference here would be if you were like suicidal and I was like, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. That's what you're doing to trans people when you misgender them constantly. It's the same thing. That's the point that's being made. Not that it's not their responsibility for their own mental health or whatever you're saying. Yeah, I guess we have our own responsibilities involved with our mental health. Society in general does too. If you're just like eyeballing a knife, and I work in kitchens, so I'm imagining you're grabbing like a fucking paring knife you used to prep vegetables, and you're just like, and I'm just over here like, do it! You should do it! That would make me a shitty person. In a similar way that would make me a shitty person is that if you were trans and I was just like, I don't know, I guess you're a woman now, so you're a woman, not a man, or you're a man. I don't know, just misgendering you. You're a guy. You're a fella. You have a penis. Should have one. You don't have one. Shouldn't wait. And I would just forget. But like that would be it, right? That would be what we're talking about. What trans people are asking for is not that. It is just stop doing that part, stop doing the bad thing, and just don't do anything at all. And if you do interact, just interact in a way that isn't shitty. That's it. If you say your name is Gothix to me, I'm not going to go, no, it's not. Maybe. It's fucking Haley. And you're like, no, that's not my name. That's the same thing, except imagine calling you Haley was exactly the same thing as me saying you should pick up the knife. PK the last next to 18 months. Like, just dumb, dude.
Mine. If I can persevere, why can't you?
What do you mean? Okay, have you thought, maybe some other people have different bullshit than yours, and your bullshit isn't the worst of all the bullshit. Maybe some other people have worse times than you. Maybe some other people feel worse than you have felt.
I can keep my cool when someone misgenders me, why can't you?
What do you mean? You dumb motherfucker.
Do I sound like I have survivorship bias?
No, you sound like a dumbass.
Or are you simply admitting that you don't have it in you to persevere?
Is she negging you into not killing yourself? Is that what she's doing right now? You won't do it, bitch. And then, like, what weird kind of does she think that she's being motivational?
And when I mean...
Yeah, remember when she was called a conservative and lost her shit? Yeah, Hunter was like, you're a conservative. She's like, no, I'm not. Respect my identity. He's like, you don't respect trans people's identities. She's like, this is different. It's like, no, it fucking isn't.
Take ownership of your mental health? I don't mean going to a gender-affirming psychologist so they can validate your feelings. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
This is actually really bad. This gets worse and worse. Holy shit.
I mean by taking ownership of your...
Is Gothix not on Twitter? Did she get banned? Is she not on Twitter? What are you talking about? You're lying. Is she off Twitter? No, she's definitely online. Yeah, she's right there. Look at this. I can't believe she did this on purpose. Look at her. This is her intentional thumbnail. I cannot believe she doesn't know she sucks. She knows she sucks, right? It's crazy. It's like there's a robot and created the annoying person. DreamWorks face. Jesus fucking Christ. This is algorithmically. You know how, like, Call Me Maybe? Like, that song? That was, like, algorithmically proven to be the best pop song of all time. She's algorithmically proven to be the most just annoying fucking human. She's just like a slime. She's a slime human, the most perfect slime human ever created by science.
Your mental health is, I mean, understanding why you feel the way that you do about yourself.
Argonian, thanks for the 17.
Or understanding why you put so much...
I might stop this early. I don't know that I can get through this, but we'll see. We'll see what the next point she makes.
Much weight onto someone misgendering you, or understanding why you even care if someone uses the wrong label or the wrong pronoun. Why do you care? What does it do for you? What do these labels mean to you? That's what I mean about taking ownership of your mental health. And if I can just be direct with you again.
Oh, please be direct. Tell us what someone else typed for you to say as you read these bullet points off. Like, this is definitely being fed, right? Like, she doesn't even seem like she's talked about this before. Am I crazy? I'm red stringing this shit right now. She's reading off of this thing, and it sounds like she's winging this. Am I nuts? Or is this just her taking notes and remembering? Because this doesn't feel like remembering to me, at least the way she's talking about it. There is no Pepe Sylvia? Dude, I'm full in the fucking tinfoil with this one. I don't know. This one feels different. This chud specifically feels different than all the others. Mark my words, okay? She's being paid by somebody. That's my we're digging deep. Who is Pepe Sylvia? I will never know. Probably Pennsylvania.
I said, I don't care if you consider yourself non-binary or use any of these labels, but you need to understand that this ideology is one of many that's been created to divide society so that it's easier to usher in tyranny. And it's already happened.
What? I guess if a small portion of you are non-binary, then I'm going to be able to make a god king on the earth. Yeah. As written in Sun Tzu's Art of War, make them gay first, and once you make them a little gay, well, then you can really flank them. You can get them from behind. No, that became. I didn't want to make it a sex thing, and it became one. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest with you. My body rejected that so much that when I this is funny. When I left that and changed the scene there, I literally, my hand just went up and clicked the little X on that. The video's done. We're done with that video. I literally wasn't even thinking about closing the video. My fucking hands just did it by myself. It was almost like a survival mechanism.